everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you my August book haul. I did buy 33 things this month, which is actually quite a bit for me, but a lot of it was manga, so I'm okay with that. Just go ahead and get right into it. So the first book that I picked up this month was Fairy Tale by Danielle Steele. I picked this up with the intention to read it for Fairy Tale-a-thon, and I actually never ended up finishing it. This is like a modern day retelling of Cinderella. I believe that it takes place in California at a vineyard. I'm not 100% certain, but it seemed really interesting to me and I liked the cover, so I figured I would give it a try and just see if I would like it, and hopefully I can get to this one soon since I didn't finish it for Fairy Tale-a-thon. I picked up Butterfly's Flowers by Yuki Yoshihara. This story follows a girl who used to be like a rich aristocrat, and then her family goes bankrupt and she's forced into working like a normal job. When she gets hired on at her job, she meets with a man who she actually recognizes from her past as sort of like a boy who was kind of like a nanny to her, or who like served her family. So it's kind of like that. It's like a servant to lovers kind of romance. It was actually pretty cute. There were some parts in it that made me laugh out loud, so this was what I picked up. I picked up Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shauna McGuire. I recently read Every Heart a Doorway and Down Among the Sticks and Bones and loved them both and really wanted to continue with the series, so I did pick this one up. I found this at a half-price books near me and it was signed, so I think that's really cool. I was very shocked to find it there. So that's really great. I'm really excited to be adding this to my collection and I hope to be able to read it soon. I'm not sure who this one follows, but I'm sure it follows like one of the children that we meet probably in the first book, and I'm excited to get into it. I also picked up The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a book that I've heard has really great diversity in it, and I'm really excited about that. My understanding is it kind of just tells the story of a woman's life and she lives like an exciting life, so that's really cool. I've read Taylor Jenkins Reid before. I read her other book, One True Loves, and I didn't like it at all. But I've heard such great things about this book that I decided to pick it up. I did also pick this one up at half price, so I didn't feel that bad about spending money on it because I got it a little bit cheaper. And I'm excited to read it just because of all the hype it's getting. I also picked up a copy of 1001 Dark Nights, The Prince by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I did read an e-arc of this book and really enjoyed it, and I like to support authors, of course, and have physical copies of their books when I can. So since Jennifer is one of my favorite authors, I did pick this one up. This follows, it's kind of like a spin-off from her Wicked series. So this takes place after the Wicked trilogy. So if you haven't read that yet, I recommend reading those 3 books first. They're great. You won't regret it. This book follows Brighton, who we do meet in that series, and the prince who you also meet. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but it's kind of like their story, and there is going to be another little like novella like this coming out called The King, and I'm really excited for that. And then next, of course, I picked up All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. I got my copy in a little bit later than everybody else because I did order the signed copy, so I was really excited for that. I enjoy her books a lot, and I was really excited to have this one to my collection. This one I actually haven't read yet, but I really want to soon. It follows a married couple and their struggles within their marriage, I believe. I really feel like I could probably relate to this book. I'm married myself, and I just feel like that's such a great topic to talk about because, well, you know, there's so much more that happens after the happily ever after, so I'm really excited to explore that in this book and just see where the story goes. I also picked up Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J. Maas, and I got the signed copy also of this one because I love her books. I haven't read this one yet either, but of course it is the next installment to the DC Icon series. This one follows Catwoman. Its tagline is sort of like, when the bat is away, the cat will play. So I'm really excited to get into that. I did not read Batman by Marie Lu, so I might pick that one up first before doing this one just to see if there's any sort of relation. My understanding is though that you can read the entire series like standalone, but I'm excited to get into this one and to have it on my shelf, and I really like the cover. And also for a new release this month, I picked up Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. This cover is just so gorgeous. I love it so much. This is sort of like a spin-off series from the Remnant Chronicles, and I actually haven't finished the Remnant Chronicles, so I didn't want to read too much about this one. because I haven't, I don't want to get any spoilers, and my understanding is that you should read the trilogy before you pick up this one, so that's what I'm gonna do before I do pick up this one. But I loved the cover so much I had to have it. This one is sort of like an outlaw leader meets the thief story, and I'm not really sure what all happens, and I kind of don't want to know. I really want to go into this one kind of blind. It has a beautiful map on the inside. I think that's gorgeous, and the spine even on this book is just so beautiful. I'm excited to have this beautiful book on my shelf. I also picked up Star Touch Stories by Roshani Chokshi. I read and finished Crown of Wishes this last month, and I really enjoyed that, and since I had already read The Star Touched Queen, I really wanted to pick up the short stories that were being released in this bind up, just because I really love the world that she does, and her writing is so wonderful, and I'm so attached to the characters, so I decided to pick this one up. I have not read it yet, but I am super excited to. My understanding is that there's like 3 short stories in here, and I think some of them involve most of the characters that we see in the book, so I'm excited to get into this. I also found this copy of The Diviners by Libba Bray. I'm not sure if this is like a new cover or like an older cover, or I'm not really sure what cover this is, but I actually already own The Diviners, but I own it in like the purple cover, and I didn't really like it that much, so I found this one in hardcover, and I thought the cover was just gorgeous, and the spine is just gorgeous. Like, I love the blue. I'm glad to be having this copy on my shelves. This story, as far as I understand, follows multiple characters, and it's set in the 1920s, and it kind of follows characters from there, and I do believe that there are like some mystery aspects to it. I'm not 100% certain, but I've heard such great things about this series. I picked up The Princess of Thorns by Stacey J. This is an older YA book, I believe, but it's one that I see recommended a lot as a really good fantasy story that's kind of fast and quick to get through. My understanding is it's sort of like a princess meets a prince, and I don't know if it's like a fairy tale spinoff or what. I don't really know much about this book, and I kind of don't want to. I just kind of want to get immersed in the story and read it. I think it'll be a pretty quick read when I do get to it. It's not very long, and it's definitely like a floppy copy, which I love. I also picked up a few more volumes of manga this month. It was just like the total month for reading manga for me. I picked up volumes 9 and 10 of Blackbird by Kanoko Sakakuroji. I am so sorry, I'm pronouncing that wrong hands down, but this is a story that follows a girl Misao, and she finds out that she's what they call a Senka maiden, and that means that she's being that's wanted by demons because she can bring like prosperity to their clan, or she can also give them long life if they were to eat her. So it's a little bit, it seems like a little bit dark of a story, but it's actually really funny to read, and I enjoy all the characters. There is definitely a lot of romance in this book, so I really do enjoy that also. I also picked up The Water Dragon's Bride by Rei Toma. This is one that I think is a little bit newer of a manga. My understanding is it follows a girl who is a water dragon's bride. Don't know much about it, but like the artwork is so beautiful that like I had to pick it up, and it's so beautiful even throughout the book. I really enjoy this art style, so I'm excited to read this one. I also picked up a little bit older of a manga called Fushigi Yugi by, this is Genbu Kaden, and this is by Yu Watase? Sorry. This I actually understand is a prequel to the Fushigi Yugi manga, so I'm not sure on the reading order of that. If you've read these and kind of know the reading order, let me know in the comments down below so I don't get it wrong. But this book follows a girl who ends up being the priestess to the 4 gods. I don't know much about the story. I kind of don't want to know much about it. I kind of just want to go into it and enjoy it, so this is what I picked up. I also picked up like a lot of paperbacks this month, which is, I really enjoy reading paperbacks. They're usually really quick reads for me. And I picked up 2 more books in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward. This is Lover Revealed and Lover Unbound. I am so excited to have these books on my shelf, and the nice thing about this series is because it is so popular, you can usually find them for really discounted prices like I did at my used bookstore. So I really enjoy these. This follows, of course, Butch in the Black Dagger Brotherhood. This is the 4th book in the series, and this is the 5th, which follows Vicious, I believe. I don't want to give too much away, but I'm sure most of you probably know about this series. They're like vampire romance novels, but there's also so much more to it. There's definitely a lot like more politics and like murder and mystery than I was ever expecting to be in them. They are so addicting, and I highly recommend picking up the series if you haven't already. Also by J.R. Ward, I picked up Covet, and this is a first novel in the Fallen Angels series by her. I know absolutely nothing about this series. I haven't heard much about it either, but since I enjoyed her Black Dagger Brotherhood book so much, I figured that I would pick up this one. It looks kind of like there might be like a biker gang involved in this. I'm not 100% certain just based on the cover, so hopefully I can get to this series soon. I also picked up The Darkest Flame, which is the first book in the Dark Kings novels by Donna Grant. I own some later books in the series. I'm not sure how I ended up with like book 8 and 7 in the series when I haven't even picked up book 1. So I finally decided just to pick up book 1 while I was at the store, and I'm not sure what these books are about. It says the Dark Kings have fought for centuries to preserve their dragon magic, but one of the most powerful warriors of his kind will be put to the ultimate test. Is he strong enough to resist his greatest temptations, or will he be forced to surrender body and soul? So I'm excited to get into these books. I've heard a lot of great things about Donna Grant, so hopefully I will enjoy these books. I also picked up 2 more books by Robin D. Owens in her Heartmate series. This is Heart Duel and Heart Thief. I read the first one, Heartmate, last month and really enjoyed it. They're kind of like sci-fi romance novels with the idea that, you know, everybody kind of has like a mate and stuff, which I really like that. I thought it was a good read. There were some things I didn't understand in the first book, and so I want to pick up these ones. This is the second and third book in the series, just to see if maybe I will continue to enjoy the series and maybe learn a little bit more and maybe make things a little bit more clearer in my head. I did also pick up a few historical romances this month, and the first is The Gift by Julie Garwood. Julie Garwood is one of my favorite like historical romance authors. I really like the idea of an already married couple kind of like falling back in love or falling in love, and I'm excited for this. It also involves pirates, which I think is awesome. So I did pick up the Born to be Wild by Eloisa James. This is another installment to her Wild series. I don't know how many books are going to be in that series, but I do enjoy Eloisa James's books. She's a really good historical romance author. If you do enjoy those kinds of books, you've probably picked up a title of 2 of hers. This one follows Lavinia Gray and Parth Sterling, and it sounds like it's kind of like they have to get married sort of a thing, so I don't know if it's like an arranged marriage or like a marriage of convenience or inconvenience, as it may be, but I'm excited to pick this book up soon. And I did also pick up The Highlander by Kerrigan Byrne. I was in Barnes & Noble one day and I was like, I really enjoyed The Highwaymen, which is the first book in the series, so why not pick up this one and continue building my collection of the books? So this one follows the Demon Highlander, who is Lieutenant Colonial Liam Mackenzie, and he's known for like superhuman strength, towering presence, and fiery passion in the heat of battle. And it also follows Miss Philomena, who I assume you probably see in other books. I remember Liam from the first book. He's kind of like mentioned, so I'm excited to get into this books. I've heard such great things about this series, and I did really enjoy the first book, so hopefully I can get to this one soon. I also picked up a couple of ebooks this month. The first is I Don't by Ella Fox. This one follows a couple who is engaged and something kind of happens and the couple splits up, and then it kind of comes back to where, and the story kind of begins where the woman is working in her own job and working to support herself and kind of move on from whatever it was that happened. You don't really know what it was that triggered their separation, and then of course the guy finds her and it kind of goes from there. It's a really cute romance story. It's kind of like a second chance, I want to say, and I also kind of liked like the mystery of it, like what it was that caused this couple that were so great together to split up. Also picked up Freaks by Callie Hart. This is the final book in her, I think it's called like the Freaks series or something. And of course it's just continuing on with the series of Dirty Nasty Freaks series. Kind of follows Fix, who is an ex-priest now turned like hitman, and Sarah, who is working on making her way to her sister's wedding, and they meet and things kind of go from there. I am not even gonna try to hold up all the books because I will die, but this was my August book haul. It was quite a big one for me. Usually I don't get this many books in a month, but I'm really excited. I have really high hopes for all of the books I got. If there's any that you think I should get to first, please leave me a comment down below, and I would love to hear from you. See you soon. Bye!